What if I told you that nearly everything you've been taught about impressing women isn't just flawed, but might actually be sabotaging your efforts? Society has filled your head with ideas about trying harder, giving more, and constantly proving your worth. But here's the truth. The less you do for a woman, the more she will naturally want to do for you. At first, this may sound counterintuitive, even unbelievable, but this isn't about manipulation or mind games. It's about understanding the true psychology of attraction, respect, and the dynamic nature of relationships in today's fast-paced world. When you stop bending over backward, overextending yourself, or sacrificing your self-respect, something remarkable happens. She begins to see you differently. She sees you as a man who values himself, a high-value individual worthy of attention and admiration. Once you fully embrace this mindset, it won't just transform your romantic relationships. It will fundamentally change the way you view yourself and how you engage with the world. Let's delve deeper into why doing less for her and focusing more on yourself isn't just a strategy, but a pathway to building stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling connections. The psychology of scarcity. Have you ever wondered why people queue up for hours to snag the latest iPhone, or why limited edition sneakers sell out in minutes? The answer is simple: scarcity. When something is rare or hard to get, our brains perceive it as inherently more valuable. And while this principle is often discussed in economics, it applies just as much to relationships. When you make yourself overly available, whether it's through constant texting, frequent compliments, or dropping everything to meet her needs, you unintentionally send a message. That message is, my time and energy are not valuable. It's the relational equivalent of flooding the market with an item. Its perceived worth plummets. Human nature is fascinating this way. We're wired to desire what's rare and to value what we believe is hard to obtain. A man who consistently goes out of his way to please, who showers a woman with unearned attention, inadvertently signals that he has little else going on. And in doing so, he diminishes the mystery and allure that initially sparked her interest. By doing less, by not always being readily available, you cultivate a sense of intrigue. Suddenly she begins to wonder, why isn't he chasing me like everyone else? That curiosity often grows into attraction. But here's the key. This isn't about manipulation. It's about recognizing your value and showing through your actions that your time is precious. Scarcity isn't about withholding affection or playing games. It's about respecting yourself enough to allow her to see your worth. The power of self-focus. Doing less for her isn't just about how she perceives you. It's about how you perceive yourself. Women today aren't just searching for someone who shows up. They're looking for a partner who stands out. A man with drive, ambition, and purpose. A man who is passionately pursuing his goals and growth, radiates a confidence that is impossible to fake. This doesn't mean you need to have an impressive title or be at the pinnacle of your career. It means your life should have direction. Women are naturally drawn to men who are building something greater than themselves, who are carving out a meaningful path. When you channel your energy into self-improvement, whether it's advancing in your career, mastering a new skill, or improving your physical and mental health, you exude a sense of self-worth. You're not chasing validation because your life is already full of purpose. This not only makes you more attractive, but it also shifts the relationship dynamic. She now sees you as someone worth being around, someone whose attention feels earned, not freely given. In today's world, where independence is prized, women respect men who respect themselves. A man who knows his worth doesn't act out of neediness or desperation. Instead, he approaches relationships with a sense of completeness. He doesn't need someone to make him feel whole. He's already there. That's a rare quality, and one that naturally commands admiration. Boundaries, the secret to respect. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to communicate self-respect. Unfortunately, many men are afraid to establish them, fearing that they'll come across as inflexible or unkind. But here's the truth. Boundaries aren't about controlling someone else's behavior. They're about valuing your own time, energy, and emotional well-being. If she's consistently late, cancels plans last minute, or expects you to bend over backward to accommodate her, a man with self-respect doesn't simply shrug it off. He calmly and respectfully communicates his limits. By doing so, he sets a standard for how he expects to be treated. Women admire men who hold themselves to higher standards because it shows confidence and maturity. It's not about being confrontational. It's about creating a foundation of mutual respect. When you enforce boundaries, you're telling her, I value myself, and I expect you to value me too. Emotional stability, a rare and powerful trait. In an age where emotional chaos is common, emotional stability stands out like a beacon. Many people, men and women alike, face pressures from work, social media, and personal life. The last thing anyone wants is to be with someone who adds to that turmoil. When you stay grounded, when you refuse to let minor setbacks derail your mood or behavior, you demonstrate emotional strength. This kind of stability is magnetic. It shows her that you're reliable, mature, and in control of your emotions. Doing less doesn't mean being indifferent. It means maintaining your composure. It's about reacting with patience instead of panic, with perspective instead of impulsiveness. Emotional stability isn't just attractive, it's essential for building a lasting, meaningful relationship. The magnetism of purpose. Perhaps the most attractive trait a man can possess is a sense of purpose. Women are naturally drawn to men who are passionate about something bigger than themselves, a career, a dream, a mission. Purpose creates magnetism, not because you're trying to impress, but because you're authentically engaged in something meaningful. When your life is filled with purpose, you're less likely to obsess over the minutiae of a relationship. Instead, you're focused on what matters to you, and that focus becomes deeply appealing. Women want to align themselves with men who have a vision for their future, who are driven by ambition and discipline. By pursuing your goals unapologetically, you show that you're not afraid to walk your own path. And in doing so, you invite her to join you, not out of obligation, but because she's inspired by the life you're creating. The less you do to chase validation, the more your value shines through. This isn't about withholding love or playing games. It's about embracing your self-worth and letting that radiate in every interaction. When you master this mindset, you'll not only transform your relationships, you'll transform yourself.